Welcome to Views. The infrastructure package was proposed by the European Commission in October last year and is currently examined by the European Parliament and the Council of EU Ministers. We have with us today Jean-Arnold Vinois, Acting Director for Internal Energy Markets, who drafted with his team this piece of legislation. Jean-Arnold, what is the added value of this new infrastructure package?
For the first time in 20 years of existence of the Trans-European network, we have a perspective which is starting from the European situation, and this is also fully in line with the third internal market package. And the proposal that the Commission tabled is comprising four key elements. That is the identification of these projects of common interest, the permit granting issues, which is absolutely vital for electricity interconnections these days, which is looking also at cost allocation by the regulators for these projects, and also looking at the financing. So you have four issues looked at in a coherent and mutually supportive way, which is absolutely new and completely in line with our internal energy market.
What is new in this package in comparison to before?
Well, instead of having just a list of projects, which was tabled by the member states in 2006, we have now a system which is much more elaborated, which starts from a 10-year network development plan to be established every 2 years, that is updated every 2 years by the ENSO-E and G, which is subject to an opinion from the Agency of Cooperation of Energy Regulators as a starting point for all the system of Europeanization of these projects, of labelization of these projects as projects of common interest. This should lead to projects which will be implemented.
But how will these projects be selected?
They will be identified from the 10-year network development plan, which is to be established by the TSOs.
And the TSOs,
transmission system operators, they have to make this big exercise, which is done already for gas last year. It has been published. A new one is coming from electricity this year. That this 10-year network development plan will be a very sound basis to identify those projects of common interest, which are not that numerous, which are absolutely key for the integration of the national markets into the European market. And that is cross-border projects, or projects which may be on a national territory but with major cross-border impacts. That's the two criteria
for a project to be
of common interest.
Common interest.
Of common
European
interest. Absolutely. And of course these projects will have to be economically viable. This is a legal condition in the treaty and will be subject, of course, to further analysis to be sure that these projects are to be done and will bring all the benefits expected. These projects of common interest will also benefit from permit granting acceleration.
Yeah, how some countries, some European member states are a bit worried that the time frame you propose, I think it's 3 years, is too limited, is too short for these projects to be granted authorization. So what? Is it a genuine concern, or?
What we have seen is that the procedures which have been put in place are very cumbersome and could be simplified. So that is where we think that it's possible to reduce the time for the permit granting procedure to 3 years indeed. And this will require a much better preparation by the project promoter to look at the various alternatives, and will be able to address himself to a single body, a one-stop shop, which will have to organize the way the permitting procedure will be organized with local, regional authorities and national authorities. This is nothing new for the member state. We have seen that in countries which have implemented that, they may reduce the time needed for obtaining the permit by really years. But this is really a process where everybody has to participate, the project promoter first, the authorities second, and also the public, because there will be consultations still. Of course, this does not mean that there is no public consultation. There is no question of removing the opinion of the citizens. But we think that it's feasible, and we've seen best practices in Europe in this respect.
The project of common interest will therefore stem from this basket, which is the 10-year network development plan put forward proposed by the TSOs, the transmission system operators. But some member states don't like this. I mean, they need more flexibility. They said at the council, they said, yeah, well, why can't we propose other projects? So what do you answer to that?
Well, we think that the way we are proposing to select a project of common interest is fully respecting the member states. So we believe that the member states are not deprived of their possibility to push for some projects for political reasons. So this is quite possible. Consensus has to be found between all the parties concerned on these projects, which is the guarantee that these projects will be completed. But at the end, member states will always have the possibility to veto the appearance of a project concerning their territory, because that is their right according to the treaty.
How many projects are we talking about?
We have started, I think, with the idea that there would be 500 projects, and that maybe 100 would be subject to a project of common interest label.
And you talked about, I mean, there is an idea in this package about the allocation of costs. How will it happen concretely?
That will be the big task for the regulators for these projects, which are more complex than just a national project. The idea of the cost allocation is to have the concerned regulatory authorities to speak together about the cost and the benefits of the project, and where will be the main benefits of these projects and who will pay for that. So, and the payment should be done according to the benefits produced by the project. We don't think that it will concern all the projects, but we think that about a fourth of the projects will be concerned by this complex issue.
I'd like to have a short word on financing. So now you have proposed for the next EU budget, multi-annual budget, to have a Connecting Europe facility. Yeah. Which projects are concerned?
When the benefits of a project are absolutely sure for the society, in terms, for instance, of security of supply, which is, again, a public good. But there is not, it's not commercially viable. It's in terms of society, this project is needed, but the recovery may not be ensured through just the tariff. And that is these projects only, which will be then able to get a grant to compensate between what the user would pay for this project, and then there is a kind of socialization of the project through the EU taxpayer paying for this project. This is for these countries which are not connected or not well connected to the rest of the European Union. And that is a matter of solidarity. And I think that having a budget to be able to pay for this solidarity is very important.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching Views.